Hello everyone. Today I'll be going to discuss about the first biology chapter of class 9, which is a fundamental unit of life. In this chapter, I will be going to briefly discuss about the cell and its feature. So let's get started. What is cell? Cell is the basic structure and functional unit of life. All the living organisms are made up of cell. Who discovered the cell? So the cell was first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. He took a thin slice of cork. What is cork? Cork is a substance which is derived from a bark of tree. So he took a thin slice of cork and observed it under his self-designed microscope, and he observed cell in it. But the first living cell was discovered by Antony von Leeuwenhoek in the year of 1674 in a pond water. He took the pond water and observed it under a microscope, where he discovered the first living cell. Depending upon the number of cells the organism is divided into two types, the unicellular and the multicellular. The unicellular organism have single cell, and the examples are amoeba, paramecium and bacteria. The multicellular means have many cells. The examples are plants, animals and some fungi. Now we will going to talk about the cell theory. In 1838, the two biologists named Sheldon and Swan gave the cell theory, which stated that cell is a basic unit of life and all the animals and plants are composed of cell, which was further expanded by Virchow in 1855, and he added the third point to the cell theory, which is all the cells arises from pre-existing cells. Means every cell has their parent cells and they give birth to their daughter cells. तो कोई भी सेल जो है वो अपने पहले प्री एग्जिस्टिंग सेल से ही आया है. Now what are the components of cells, or what is a cell is made up of? तो cell had got certain specific components within it known as cell organelles, and each component performs special function. Each component within a cell perform a special function and they are termed as cell organelles. There are three basic components which is present in all the cells. Means all the cells, either the plant cell or animal cell, has these basic three cell components or cell organelles. First is the plasma membrane, second one is the nucleus, and third one is the cytoplasm. Plasma membrane, also known as cell membrane. It is the outermost covering of the cell which separates the content of cell from its external environment. It is found in both the plant as well as animal cell, but the difference in both the cells is in plant cell the cell membrane is present below the another layer which is known as the cell wall, but in the animal cell it is the outermost covering of the cell, but in plant there is another covering below which the cell membrane is present, known as cell wall. Composition. Plasma membrane is mainly made up of protein and lipids, where the protein are sandwiched between the bilayer of protein. Here you can see in this diagram there is a double bilayer of lipid in which the protein are embedded. This is known as fluid mosaic model of plasma membrane, which was given by Singer and Nicholson. Plasma membrane is flexible. Plasma membrane, also called as selectively permeable membrane because it selectively allow the entry and exit of some material in and out of the cell. So it selectively allow different substances to go in and out of the cell. The function of the plasma membrane is to regulate the movement of substances or molecules inside and outside of the cell. Second, it helps in maintaining the composition of cell. Now we will going to discuss about the how transmission or transportation of different substances occur across the plasma membrane. Before discussing that, there are few new terms which have to be understood before we are discussing the different processes of transportation across the plasma membrane. So the first term is solute. Solute is the substance dissolved and solvent in which it is dissolved, and both the solute and solvent made the solution. For example, we take the solution of water and sugar. यहाँ पे हमने वाटर और शुगर का एक सॉल्यूशन लिया है जिसमें शुगर जो है वो सॉल्यूट है और उसको किस में डिसॉल्व किया गया है, वाटर में, जो कि हमारा यहाँ पे सॉल्वेंट है. तो अगर हम सॉल्यूशन ऑफ शुगर देखें तो यहाँ पे शुगर जो है हमारा सॉल्यूट है और वाटर जो है सॉल्वेंट है और दोनों मिलके एक सॉल्यूशन बनाते हैं. नेक्स्ट टर्म है कंसंट्रेशन. कंसंट्रेशन इज द अमाउंट ऑफ प्रेजेंस ऑफ सॉल्यूट और सॉल्वेंट इन अ सॉल्यूशन. किस अमाउंट में आइदर हमारा सॉल्यूट और सॉल्वेंट प्रेजेंट है एक सॉल्यूशन में, वो बताता है उस सब्सटेंस की, उस सॉल्यूट और सॉल्वेंट की कंसंट्रेशन. सो एज यू कैन सी इन दिस डायग्राम देयर आर टू सॉल्यूशन. First one in which there is an both solute and solvent. यहाँ पे हमने शुगर एंड वाटर का सॉल्यूशन लिया है, तो शुगर है और वाटर है, जबकि दूसरी साइड सिर्फ हमने वाटर लिया है. तो अगर हम बोले कि शुगर सॉल्यूशन में हमारा सॉल्यूट विच इज़ अ शुगर, उसका कंसंट्रेशन ज़्यादा है इसके मुकाबले जहाँ पे सॉल्यूट नहीं है, तो we can say कि the concentration of solute in this solution is higher than the concentration of solute in this. And in the same way, if we talk about the concentration of water, so here the concentration of water is more than this solution which is in sugar and water solution. Now we're going to discuss about the two processes which is used in the transportation across the plasma membrane. So the first process is diffusion. Diffusion is the process of movement of solute from higher concentration to lower concentration. जब कोई solute हायर कंसंट्रेशन से लोअर कंसंट्रेशन की तरफ जाता है तो उस प्रोसेस को हम डिफ्यूजन कहते हैं. एग्जाम्पल्स आर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड ऑक्सीजन. दीज गैसेस आर मूव अक्रॉस द सेल मेम्ब्रेन बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ डिफ्यूजन. देन द नेक्स्ट प्रोसेस इज ऑस्मोसिस. Osmosis is a process of movement of solvent, which is a water, from higher concentration to lower concentration is through a semi-permeable membrane, which is a plasma membrane. If solute move from higher to lower, we said that process is diffusion, and if solvent, which is a water, move from higher concentration to lower concentration, then we term this process as osmosis. Now, in the process of osmosis, solvent moves inside the cell, then it is known as endosmosis. Endo means in. If the movement of solvent occur inside the cell, it is known as endosmosis. And if the movement of solvent occur outside the cell, it is known as exosmosis. Now, depending upon or on the basis of concentration, there are different types of solution which leads to different type of effects on this cell. तो फर्स्ट सॉल्यूशन इज हाइपोटोनिक सॉल्यूशन. अब कहेंगे कि जब एक सॉल्यूशन जो है वो हमारा हाइपोटोनिक है जब व्हेन द कंसंट्रेशन ऑफ वाटर आउटसाइड द सेल इज हायर देन इनसाइड द सेल. मीन्स जो वाटर का कंसंट्रेशन है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर हमने एक सेल लिया है और उसको एक सॉल्यूशन में डाला है, अगर उस सॉल्यूशन का कंसंट्रेशन और उस सॉल्यूशन का जो वाटर का कंसंट्रेशन है सेल, द सेकेंड सॉल्यूशन इज हाइपरटोनिक सॉल्यूशन. इफ द मीडियम outside the cell has lower concentration of water than the cell. Suppose we put cell in a solution where the concentration of water is lower than inside the cell, then what will happen? The water goes from higher concentration to lower concentration. Means the water which is present in higher concentration inside the cell goes outside the cell and it will leads to shrinkage of the cell. The third solution is the isotonic solution. The outer medium or the solution in which the cell was putting has exactly the same water concentration as present inside the cell. So there is no net movement of water across the cell membrane. So there will be no change in the cell size or cell shape. As you can see in this diagram, there are three type of solution. The last one is a hypotonic, where the water concentration is higher outside the cell than the water concentration inside the cell. Then as a result, water goes inside the cell and leads to swelling of the cell. As the water goes inside, this is known as endosmosis. Second is hypertonic, where the concentration of water is lower outside the cell, so the water from inside the cell goes outside and the cell will get shrink, and it is by the process of exosmosis. And the third one is isotonic, where the water concentration is same outside the cell as is inside the cell, so there is no net movement of the water, there is no change occur within the cells. Now rest of the topic of this chapter will be covered in my next video. Till then, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe.